He writes passion, she knows panties. Now these two innocents experience life together one step at a time. I'm Zan, konnichiwa, aloha, buongiorno, and what's up? And welcome to another episode of Spiraken Manga Review. So let's actually get to it as we speak about this slightly spicy manga. And, well, what am I talking about? Well, if you remember from the last episode, I spun that one that only the wheel of manga, and it dictated onto me that I'd be reviewing a manga that was, well, a little bit spicy, a little bit innocent, and more importantly, one which is borderline hentai. And what are we talking about? We are talking about Virgin Ventures, the hilarious hijinks of erotic amateurs. This was written and illustrated by Kuroseimu, and it is the story of two young people as they work together in a very interesting field. Now, our main character is Rico, and Rico is the granddaughter of a landlady of an apartment building who loves being there. She loves helping out her grandma, especially since her mom broke her leg. And one day, grandma says, "Listen, we have a new tenant. I've made a bento for him. Can you talk to him and bring this over?" And also, grandma may be trying to get granddaughter to get a little bit of a, something. But she ends up going there, knocks on the door, and a young gentleman opens the door. This guy, he's a writer whose name is Miki, and he sees her and is like, "Oh, hi, how can I help you? Oh, is that one of the landlady's bentos? It's supposedly super delicious. Thank you. Why don't you come in?" And as she walks in, she sees that this young author has tons of books all throughout his apartment. He's like, "Listen, I'm going to get some utensils and eat. Look at any book you want, have fun at it." And she ends up seeing this one book that actually has multiple copies in there, probably his book, but she doesn't realize it at this point. And she ends up starting to read it. And this is a very erotic story. It's very deep, very sensual. And Rico is like, this is really, and she's starting to get a little hot and bothered by it. And so he ends up stopping her and saying, "Hey, novels are a lot of fun. You seem really interested in that. So what is that?" And then he realizes she's reading his book, and he's like, listen, I gotta ask you, did you like it? Did you hate it? What are your thoughts about it? Did it turn you on?" And she's like, this is a little too close." And then a typical shonen gag happens where one trips over the other, and it's in a really compromising position. He starts getting thoughts about her. She starts getting thoughts about him. And then he backs up and says, "Listen, here's the deal. I'm the author. I'm really inexperienced. I don't know any of this stuff. I'm trying to work this out. And you're really, really pretty. And I was wondering, can we talk about this?" And he notices that she's wearing, as they're sitting there in the compromised position, she has very, very sexy panties. And he thinks she is very, very experienced. But we find out the truth that when she was a little girl, she watched magical girl shows, became obsessed with this one, which was really fan servicey, that she thought was about heroes and justice. And she equated sexy underwear with justice. And it became a joke with her. Not with her, but other people, that she would wear these sexy underwears. It made her feel confident. And so she would end up buying all these very, very risque outfits she'd wear. And if someone saw it, oh, she'd think it's her being powerful, but other people be like, "Oh, she's the kink hero with sexy underwear. She's got to be a sex pot." And so he's like, "Listen, um, you seem really experienced. I don't know anything. Can you advise me on my novels and show me how to be better?" And she's like, but I'm a," and this leads to them working together on these various novels, and more importantly, exploring some of the more interesting parts of kink. And as you can see, she's drawn very sexily, and it's a lot of fan service, a lot of etchy scenes, no sex, but a lot of this nature of hubba hubba, wow, what's going on? And that is what this story is about. This story is about sexy times, about writing stories without sex. And our two main characters, Miki and Rico, as they move forward together, you see them start falling in love. And they're dealing with tons of different scenarios, like them going to research bondage. So they go to a bondage shop, or they end up going to one of those interesting love hotels, not to go there for that, but to research. And one can't tell the other that they're not experienced. So it becomes this whole like, will they, won't they, will they, won't they, will they, won't they, which isn't a problem. However, it does get a little grating. Now, the artwork is beautiful. The characters, like I said, we have Miki, we have Riku, we have a couple of his friends from the community, we have her grandmother. So we have some great characters that are in here that are not unforgettable, but they are a little more dynamic than some of the more average series we've talked about. And this one is pretty, well, It's spicy. It's really spicy. But nothing comes of it yet. I think this is one series that's going to drag it out, and then maybe something will happen. It'll be off screen. I don't know. There are some doujinshi-esque scenes that are like, wow, that's a lot of fan service. Now, one of the issues I did have is that I can't find a physical copy anywhere. No one has it. Apparently, it is currently like out of stock. They're going to be ordering more, but Books a Million doesn't have it. Barnes Noble doesn't have it. A lot of companies they don't have it. I had to buy it digitally, which isn't a problem. It's it's a fan servicey book, but it is intriguing and engaging. And now, with that in mind, what I think about it? Did I like it? Did I not like it? It's a compelling series with some great characters, and more importantly, it has some great moments. The artwork is great in it, but it is one of those stories where it's a lot of fan service and it does spin its wheels a bit. But it is better than a lot of the other series we've had where it has this nature of, oh, it's an inexperienced person and an experienced person working on hentai, porn, writings, dojinshis, whatever. We've read this before, but this one did something a little different for me. And for that reason, I have to give this a Far from a Friend and Don't Return Unless Offered Pocky. It has detailed artwork, compelling main characters. It explores various fetishes, not just one, and the storyline is kind of sensual. Uh, Big con is that it's super ecchi, and there is a lot of censored courtship with this. It's overextended and it takes a lot of time. And obviously, tropes are going to be it's an experienced couple, you have the secret desires that people have they don't share, and then it's the look, don't touch, where they're together, but they're not together, if you get my drift. Now, if you read this series and you like it or don't, let me know. Email me, zanspiraken.com, tweet me at Spiraken. Let me know if you think this is a good series, if you think this is a garbage series. Are there better series than this? Let me know. Leave a comment down below. And with that in mind, since we talked about spicy, let's talk about some of the new series that came out this week. And we've got some fun ones and some crazy ones. And, well, starting off, we've got Apothecary Diaries, Volume 9 of the light novel came out. The Art of Final Fantasy 16, Echoes of the Rising Tide came out. Betrothed to My Sister's Ex light novel 2 came out. Blue Box Volume 20. Boruto Two Blue Lines Volume 5. Cat's Eye Volume 3, The Omnibus. Classroom of the Elite Year 3 in light novel 1. Colette Decides to Die Volume 7. The Cursed Swordmaster's Harem Life Volume 6 light novel. Die Dark Volume 9. Desire Pandora Volume 5. Eden of Witches Volume 7. Echo Echo Azarak Reborn Volume 1. A Gatherer's Adventure in Isekai Volume 1. Inspector Volume 21. Kagurabashi Volume 7. Lost in the Cloud Volume 3. Makina-san's A Love Bot Volume 3. Mob Psycho 100 Volume 16. Monster and Ghost Volume 2. My Special One Volume 11. Natsumi's Book of Friends Volume 32. Nue's Exorcist Volume 6. Other Side Picnic Volume 14. Pet Shop of Horror Collector's Edition 6. Prince Freya Volume 13. Opposites Attract Volume 4. Queen's Quality Volume 25. Reliving My Life with a Boyfriend Who Doesn't Remember Me Volume 6. The Reaper and the Waiting. The Small S Volume 82 20th Anniversary Special Edition volume. This is a great book series that's been released for over 20 years. The Mandalorian, the Manga, Volume 4. Stella Must Die, Volume 1. Super Psychic Policeman Shoujo, Volume 3. A Tale of the Secret Saint, Manga number 11. Though I'm an Inept Villainess, Tales of the Incurable Rat in the Maiden Court, Volume 10 of the novel. This just got announced to be a anime series. It looks really good, actually. True Beauty, Volume 8. Tune into the Midnight Heart, Volume 7. And then we have Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi, Volume 1. Wet Sand, Volume 3. Windbreaker, Volume 21. And last, Witch Hat Atelier, the Grimoire Edition. And last, certainly not least, we've got Color Palette Warazashi. So these are the manga releases for the week. We've got some beautiful ones, we've got some odd ones, we've got tons of various unique stories that came out this week. So which are you most excited about? Let me know. Email me zanspiraken.com or tweet me at Spiraken. For me, my personal top 5 for this week are going to be Echo Echo Azarak Reborn, Volume 1. It looks really good. Then we have A Gatherer's Adventure in Isekai. This is an Isekai that looks a little different, so it might be good. Stella Must Die, Volume 1. The way it sounds like a mixture of a fantasy series and Parasite. So I do want to check that out. Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi, Volume 1. This is a series which has been around for a little bit, and I'm excited to read it, finally, legitimately. And then The Witch Hat Atelier Grimoire Edition, Volume 1. It's a new collection of the first 3 volumes with more artwork. And since Witch Hat Atelier, the anime dropped, that it's been great, and I've been rereading this series, and it is such a fun series. And I can't wait to see these new editions come out. And it's one which definitely is going to be worth picking up and purchasing. So these are my ones that I'm excited about. So which are the ones you're excited about? Let me know. Email me, zanspiraken.com, or tweet me at Spiraken. So with that in mind, before we go any further, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for checking out this podcast and video. Every email I get, every new comment, it gives you more motivation to keep doing this. And I love doing this. So thank you so much. Every time I feel a bit low and down, I definitely just reach out. I see all the new members, I see the comments, and it just gives me more motivation to keep doing this. And I want to keep doing this on an old man who reads manga with thick glasses and large print. So let's keep going on this venture. Maybe I'll hit 1,000. We'll see. The only mangaka who's ever hit 1,000 episodes, or manga reviewer. But again, I digress. Some other bits of news. One, officially at Animazement, the schedule is official. I'm going to be in Animazement for 3 days, and I've got 3 panels going on. Friday from 4 to 5, I'm running the Insane Manga Challenge, Back from the Dead. At Saturday, 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. Sunday, I'm going to be running ultra-violent anime and manga series for Berserk fans. And then on Sunday from 12:30 to 2, I am running manga recommendations for grown-ups. We've got some great titles on there, some new ones, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So definitely check it out. Also, for one other fun fact, something I'm working on that I finally decided to do is I made some ribbons for the cons. So if you see me, you'll see a couple of cool ribbons I'm giving away, including one for Spiraken fans and one for if you want to debate me about manga and why manga is better than anime or it's worse than anime. Feel free to show up. It's going to be a lot of fun. But with that in mind, let's get to the most important part of this episode and the part that I'm most excited about and you're most excited about. And what are we talking about? We are talking about that one, that only, the Wheel of Manga! Yes, friends, the Wheel of Manga, except no substitute. Now, what is the Wheel of Manga? Wheel of Manga is a Wheel of Fortune with 10 slots on it. And what I've done is I've assigned a manga tile to each of the 10 slots. So what we're going to do is we're going to spin the wheel. Whatever number it lands on, the manga that's in that spot is the one I'm going to review in the next episode of the Spiraken Manga Review, episode 629. So let's spin and see what we're going to review in the next episode, shall we? Number 3. So in the next episode, I'm going to be reviewing Liar Liar. What is it about? Well, I've had it for a while. We're going to see what it is. But anyway, I hope you enjoy this episode. As usual, I am your host, Zan. I am Gonzville. I'll catch you guys next time. And as always, keep reading manga. I will see you later.